Next video will be for the swimwear crotch lining piece. So for this one, you'll need a front and back swimwear piece. So these you had to paste together. So paste it together right along that center line where the dot is. So this is my back piece. I'll cut one from my super stretchy or athletic wear type fabric. And then front, this is my front piece. We'll just cut one of those as well. And then we've got our little crotch lining piece. This one we will need to cut two. If you have a really smooth swimwear fabric that will feel okay touching the skin, you could cut two from the same fabric. If not, then you can cut one from a lining. So I've got one that is cut from this swimwear type lining here. And one that's cut from my swimwear fabric, because this fabric has this glitter on it. It would not feel very comfortable touching my skin. So this will be my shell and this will be my lining layer. Okay, the first thing we're gonna do is start pinning this together. So this is my back swimwear piece. And we're going to start pinning our crotch piece along that curved edge. This is where it fits together. So I'm going to flip it so it's right sides together and start pinning that. Start on either end so that you know you're not going to stretch it out and make it too long as you work your way from one side to the other. And then you can pin through the middle. And then we need to add in our lining layer. So we're going to flip this over to the wrong side of our fabric. And we're going to add in our lining, just like we did with the first piece. It'll just be on this side. So the reason we're doing this in two separate steps is because these pieces are quite slippery. If you try to do all three at once, it will be much harder to get those edges even. But if we do it in those two different steps, it's a lot easier to get that even. Okay, now we're gonna take this over to our serger and we'll serge that seam. Okay, over at our serger, we're just stitching up that seam that we pinned. Make sure to lift your foot. Oh, where's mine? Lift up your foot to get that fabric under there to begin so that your pieces don't slip on you. And then begin serging. Okay, now that that part is serged, we're going to take these pieces and let them stick off the bottom of our swimsuit. So just like this. And then we're going to grab our front piece and start pinning it here at the other curve. So first I'm going to pin it to this shell piece, right sides together. Okay. And then I need to pin it to my lining piece, but I want these seams to be encased. So I want this to come down and I want all of those seams to be tucked between those two layers. So instead of just pinning it to the other side, I'm going to flip it around so that I kind of tuck all these pieces in between where I'm pinning this. So take this piece and you're going to go around the back. So it kind of flips, everything gets tucked into this, and now it's coming around here to this side. So this is my seam. I went around the back with this, and now I've brought it up to the other side here. Okay, and I should still be having my front here, and my lining piece is over on this other side. And then I'm going to include that in the pins. Okay, and now we're going to serge this closed. Okay, so that finishes off this sample. The only thing we have to do is now kind of untuck this. So take all this and pull it out from the middle. So when you do that, on the inside, you should have that lining piece with all of the seams underneath it. And then on the outside, you should have that crotch piece sitting right there.